yes, fire will burn you. Another beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Monday evening here in the UK. I hope everything you're doing wherever you are and whatever activity you are involved in, everything is going on nicely, nicely, nicely indeed. Anyway, Mansa Musa, whew, when was the last time I was here? I think I was here was it last Thursday? Yes. And yes, yeah. Anyway, so it's another nice evening here in London. What's going every day, every other news? But President Akufo-Addo say he doesn't give a damn. And fan who cry. Just the air costume and just a fan who cry anyway. So there we are, there we are. Anyway, a lot of things, a lot of river water has passed under the bridge. You see, so we have a lot to discuss. What it is that the news, the trendy news is that, well, this was an open secret that, a secret that was not kept very well, and that is everyone knew that Alan Tremantin, wasn't happy at all. You see, for people who actually feature in the MPP fraternity, if you listen carefully, they will tell you that look, the signs have been there for a long time, and Alan Tremantin coming third behind Baumia and especially Kennedy Japan really has cheesed him off, because Alan Tremantin, you look at his how do I put it? He's a typical old style politician, if I can say so. He is not the new age type. He is the quiet man with the respect. I wonder even if Alan Tremantin can say so much, what I say, rubbish or so much garbage about Mahama. You see, he's that type, and when he perhaps, look at his achievement and his public persona and the rest, then he comes to realize that he is behind Kennedy Japan. Me sure say enono kra ne kuno. Me sure pass say Alan Tremantin enye Bawumia odikan ana Akufo-Addo a twisty nyoma ena ha no nemom odi third behind Kennedy Japan between say be ha papa. And so for this, it has not, look, long time we have been saying that this man will go, who will make announcement, he will go independent. And people thought, oh, no, he won't do that, I'm out for being home with your say, once I hear MPP, they are only the say, we are there, but the man has proven everyone wrong, say, look, or no ma, Akufo-Addo, chance, no say, Akufo-Addo nka ombeye nyoma ye. You see, nka Akufo-Addo ombeye nyoma ye. Say Akufo-Addo ye nyoma ye. Nka it won't be any big deal for Alan to take over, and whoever even takes over from Akufo-Addo. But Akufo-Addo ye nyoma peche, nyoma basa. And now for Akufo-Addo become what we say. We will see. We will assess, because although no, what destroy Ghana and what destroy MPP. Adia Akufo-Addo ain't mean destroy pe ye good. Ewana brabo ni say. His own balance sheet any the family fortunes ni there. Aye ma. Omo nyam ho say twem. Omo bibia omo sika ni nyina bi. Na Ghana fo nyina so bre. Na yesi ma yenka. Na say young people be etu omo hu egu krom so omo ye demonstration kitu bi pe. Then we have to be calling them names. I want to say. We will discuss it. But and then what it is, so when you now ufra, I will let you speak.
NFM Radio. NFM Radio.
Sydney Discotheque. Verano del 79. Con la mejor música del mundo.
Oye. anoma koliwa anoma koliwa 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 anoma koliwa anoma koliwa 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 anoma koliwa anoma koliwa 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 anoma koliwa
Right, Osianova, Koliwa, Numa Koliwa. You are welcome once again. If you just tune in, Mansa, Musa, I'm here, and I am running the show. A Monday, and you Fire will burn you program. Now, the news is that Mr. Alan Tremontin, he is known as Mr. Alan Cash. He has decided to leave the NPP. Wahoro ni saho every NPP. Crack. Or say mo party no. Sisi akoye akoye nyenyenyenye enti no ompe party ni biom. Na my question is who ni saying say we no na che say ebema win no aye easy ama baumia ana be easy ama kene Japan because according to MPP4 no che say ono Canada Japan and baumia no they are here to give us a showdown. Omono enye your friend is saying enye ye can say bi say policies be and what baby no money bound him just the showdown on a channel on person mangana for showdown ain't you know showdown on person mo Ghana for na ye can you know say we Crawford comments on well, the comment is not only coming from any other people, it's coming from NDC people as well. I hear Sami Jemfi say that this will make this particular resignation by Alan Tremontin will make a runoff very likely. Nature say on the who say ebema agronoma edindin ma runoff baba ho na eno na ebi bisa seti so the NDC for no kasa so no they are not very, how do I say it, just say they are not confident, they are not sure of themselves and now say their chances. Who is saying? I mean, how do you see? How do you think this is going to, what is coming? What is coming out? I mean, what is going to happen? Concerning the 2024 elections, parliamentary and presidential. So it would be nice. So imagine that Alan Chamantin is going independent, with his party. Then Baumia or Kenejapon for MPP. Then I don't see how the combination will work because Alan Chamantin can win. Then the NDC will also win the parliamentary seat plenty. So how can Alan govern the country? You see, I want to understand if say Utiasia Tremisania Usha and Yoma basis so say if Alan Tremanti goes or say Obeko and you say if they say no or say on what any party be butterfly na or co-independent. So what do you make of all this say? HSA NDC for betumi wini parliamentary seat ni na Alan Tremantin so wini your friends a presidential seat, Alan Tremantin is likely to govern with the NDC. That will be also a progress, something progressive, isn't it? Say you see a pay system. I want for betting NDC MPP they are the same. So now that Alan is not with the MPP, this is a clear choice, isn't it? A clear changes. Or what do you think? Or maybe you think I'm making too much. Maybe I'm talking absolute kobabas. I'm thinking I'm talking real sense, real possibilities that Alan can win the presidential race, become president, and all his ministers and everything will be the NP. Okay, thank you. Will be the NDC fraternity. I say this one can be a nice Ghana. Ubia, Ubia, be respecting Ghana. I'm out for Nyebian in Nikwadi. I will say arbitrate the Western nations, For them, they don't care too much. So far as you are doing the democracy the way they want you to do it, even if your people don't have food to eat, it's okay. Because as for them, all what they want you to do is to do democracy. You see what I mean? And so the democracy that is going to happen in Ghana, is going to be very interesting indeed, because moving forward as it is, we have the floodgates opened. You say, young boys and girls, young men and women who are almost gather here to make choboy at the weekend. My police for any or more vehicles, block, quite near the day, all those things, You say, almost be some floodgates, ama ubia or pese. Or demonstration. Say no, the police no want to mean yet gidi basabia say na we are blocking you, we are arresting you. Debbie. Ubia, so far as you are going to be peaceful and raise your placards and sing your songs and shout and get some microphone thrust under your nose to speak. So far as that is going to happen, now the floodgates are open for more demo. You see, so as they say, a democracy or a sovereign state, a constitution is much bigger and stronger than any one individual or even a group of people. You see, the police and whoever was behind them wanted to thwart the efforts. They wanted to disrupt or destroy the will of the people. The will of the people they all what they wanted was to go on demonstration. And also ebeye kasa bebre. Mami fa enyo we ntwem na me sisa me camera no. I will be back. Don't go anywhere.
Discoteque, verano del 79, con la mejor música del mundo. Del mundo. Del
Okay,
mundo.
one.
Del mundo.
Ojaye. Ojaye.
Right, Anuma Koliwa, Koliwa, Koliwa. If you've just tuned in, you are welcome to the show. Mansa Musa is Fire will burn you. Monday night or evening edition. Right, and let's see if I can get Alan Chamantin's resolution speech. It was a longish one, but I'll try. I'll try and see if I can get it. I'll read part of it. Okay, all right, thank you. I'll try and see if I can get part of the speech and read it to the satisfaction of everybody who wants to know. Like I said, the speech, how many? A lot of pages. Is about 10 pages or so. And Mr. Alan Chamantin, Alan Cash, has spoken and mentioned several reasons. You see what I mean? He's not taking any prisoners at all. He's just shooting along. It's a fellow countrymen and women, friends from the media, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Let me start by expressing my profound gratitude to you all for accepting my invitation to attend this press conference. I give thanks to the Almighty God for His manifold blessings on my life and for His grace and mercy. I wish also to use this platform to express my heartfelt appreciation to each and every one of you, particularly the rank and file of the New Patriotic Party (NPP), who have believed in my vision, who have stood by me through thick and thin, and who have shown unwavering faith in the promise of a bright future for Ghana. Your belief in the possibilities of our nation and your dedication to the ideals of progress, unity, and prosperity have been nothing short of inspiring. It is important for me at this onset to provide a historical context for what has occasioned this press conference today. In 1992, when the New Patriotic Party was established, a group of young dynamic business executives and professionals came together to establish the Young Executive Forum, that is YEF, under my chairmanship. The YEF, since 1992, became the financial backbone of the party and provided significant financial resources to support the party in all its endeavors, including the seed fund for the purchase of the party's first national headquarters building. As chairman of the YEF, I had the privilege of serving a number of National Executive Committee and the National Council of the party. In addition to this, I served as a leading member of various committees of the party. In 1996, after the unsuccessful attempt by the first flag bearer of the party, Professor Albert Eduboahin, to win the general elections, the membership of the Young Executive Forum nominated me to contest the 1996 presidential primaries alongside leading personalities in the party such as Professor Eduboahin, Mr. J.A. Kufuor, Dr. Sani Selby, Dr. Kwame Safwedu, Mr. J.H. Mansa, Dr. Joseph Foriata. I was prevailed upon by some senior members of the party, in particular Mr. Akintin Apia Aminka and Mr. Stephen Kreku, both of blessed memory, to sacrifice the opportunity to contest for the leadership of the party, rather support my senior colleague aspirants. In 1996 to 2000, I played a leading role in supporting the bid of the then candidate J.A. Kufuor to win the general elections and become president of the Republic of Ghana in 2001. After refusing appointment as a cabinet minister in the aftermath of the election, the president persuaded me to become NPP's first ambassador to the United States, a position I served with distinction. I was subsequently appointed in 2003 as Minister for Trade and Industry and Presidential Special Initiatives to implement a new economic paradigm, which I had, which I had introduced in 2001, on the assumption of the office of the President Kufuor. Between 2003 and 2007, I led the government program for enhancing private sector development and ushering a golden age of business in Ghana. You see, Alan Tremonti's resignation a lot. It goes on, after carefully analyzing the result of the Superdelegates Conference, I issued a press statement on the 6th of September 2023 declaring my intention to exit the process leading to the presidential primaries. In the run-up to the Superdelegates Conference, the National Council of the party made the most controversial and contentious decision in the history of the party. They rejected a petition signed by 9 out of the 10 aspirants requesting for the Superdelegate Conference to be held in one location, as well as allowing each delegate to the conference to nominate 5 persons instead of one in line with the provisions of the party's constitution. Old Kanya, who say, Mr. Alan Tremonti, Neniabre, a long resignation sort of letter or, a first document. And I cannot read it all. But for those of you who have not read it or seen it, I will urge you to look for it. It is that huge. And he has made several points, which is worth knowing. Because, as they say, Obi and Tong Nakukobi Diekwa. No one will decide to sell a hen. The hen that is, giving you plenty eggs. If anybody wants to sell a hen that lays the egg, that means there's something wrong with the hen. You see what I mean? And for Alan Tremonti to quit the great NPP, it is not easy. It isn't something we can just trivialize or say override it and say, oh, this is nothing. How do you think this is going to affect the NPP's chances as a whole? Do you think Alan Tremonti is so hated by the NPP people that they say, oh, Beko Aonko, now we are free to get our people to come and govern again? And I say they love him so much that they say, okay, we are going to campaign to vote for him. But the serious aspect of all this, I would say, is that Alan Tremonti's campaign message now, his campaign message is going to be unrestricted. It's going to be completely boomerang. It is going to be thrown and it will hit and come back. Because now, as it is, Alan Tremonti, is going to dish out big time. He's going to talk a lot. Because if he says he wants to be an independent, there's no way he's going to campaign in favor of Akufo-Addo's MPP. No. He will have to say a lot of disparaging things, a lot of kurulu, karala, a lot of kutukutu, A lot of boom, 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 boom. So I've read somewhere, the NPP, have decided, or they plan to have a public address tomorrow to respond to Alan's resignation. What they are going to say, I don't know. Because, look, anything, however you consider this, how is Alan Chamantin going to campaign? He's not going to campaign, and he say things better about even his time in government with Akufo-Addo. He must be, he must be heard to be saying that, look, all the things that I had or I said in cabinet, of which I have the records, most of the things Akufo-Addo is doing, I said it was wrong. And records will show that I said it, or I decided, because I was alone, I kept quiet, but it is wrong. If Alan Chamantin is telling Ghanaians that the Akufo-Addo government has destroyed Ghana, then I would rather urge the NPP people to chase belt na chase Akufo-Addo, because what's a party no? Akufo-Addo assemble party no. Whether you like it or not, whether me saying it, gets you angry or not, the bottom line is that Alan Chamantin is not going to be restrained. So na make no. Say no, only party bimu. And to kasa chale ale man kasa o. Don't say it like this. Oh please, don't say this, don't say that. Debi. Say, can you imagine? Even Onukane Japan is now doing the work of NDC. He's now condemning so many things. And let me see something I read not quite long ago. Or see, a friend is saying, or see the tourist minister have said something so foolish. And I actually, where are we? Okay. Actually, I totally agree with him. Or say, how can a whole tourist minister say that he wants to promote funerals? You see, when people are short of, policies, people are bereft of ideas. Bankruptcy of ideas have hit this NPP government. And so they talk absolutely kobabas. They are talking absolutely kababus. This one, I have to say the truth, is that this one is equal to one of the NDC to their manifesto, who said they were going to build mortuaries for Muslims. That one too was absolutely wagarugurugu. It was rubbish. The same way, Kennedy Boy is asking the tourist minister, how can a whole tourist minister say he wants to promote funerals? I mean, it doesn't add up. If you have run out of ideas, and then the more so now no can Japan train master me me condemn tourist minister or no can say condemn because no can Japan who she know. The Hushishino Japan knows very well that if their party goes into position, Japan will have to live outside London, outside Ghana. He will have to go and live somewhere far away like New York or New Jersey somewhere. And he will be attending his parliamentary via Zoom from New Jersey or somewhere, or Japan. Because if you listen and ask, you talk to some of the NDC people, the way they mean this guy, African politics is there. As someone you cry debate with the also. And so no can Japan and yeah, break. No she know. But let's come back to Alan Chamantin. My problem here, my question is not a problem, but you see what I'm saying is, Alan Chamantin, now cannot be restrained. NPP 4, omu chairman, any omu akasi wulu sem, and to me can say, oh, Alan, when you can, and you men can say, men can debi. Now he has to campaign for himself. So he will have to not only have to attack the NDC, he will have to attack the NPP itself. And that, ladies and gentlemen, it be something. 0208 123 5911 07876 251 261. That's 07876 251 261. Wow, friend, they toast no sign free. And yet, madam will say, I let me friend my I'm friend because phone, yeah, Juma, I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you to come and tell me what do you think Alan Chemantin's message is going to be. Because if you remember when this what we call when the NPP primaries all this thing started, Alan Chemantin's first statement was that he was asking what message are we going to give to Ghanaians. He was doubtful of the message to use. It is our time in Alan Chemantin himself. Kufuado aban no amanioma ye winsin. It is a winsin church. And until no message no be din. So now that he is free, he is independent. The message is wow. Ebeba say wow. Let me see if I can get through to him via phone to ask one or two. And let me see, I'm trying. I'm going to be new. I try, but I try. I can't understand. I try, but I try. They don't understand. The more they give it, the more they foolish they become. Meaning words in the okay. 9227. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Mansa Musa.
Hey, Mima Wakwaba.
Yeah.
Right. What he brought you here? My question is that now that Alan Chemantin is a free man, how is he going to campaign without the strings of restraints from his former party NPP? Take it away.
Yeah, thank you very much. Very good evening to you, your producers, and your listeners, as well as your viewers alike. Mansa Musa, I think we've kind of come to this because of how Akufo-Addo is behaving and how the government of Ghana is kind of making itself, a dictatorship. And so, for Alan Chemantin, for his pronouncement this afternoon, for me and I think for every political watcher, it sounds of a guy who is so selfish and, wanting to play the victim. Because look, Mansa Musa, Alan Chemantin, even this afternoon, he made mention of what happened in 2007, right? Where he said he resigned or he gave conditions. If the conditions were not going to be met, he would resign. For that matter, the NPP promised him the conditions would be met. And so he kind of rescinded that decision to resign. The point is, Nana Akufo-Addo comes to power. He gets the presidency. Honorable Alan Chemantin is appointed Minister of Trade. The question I ask myself is, the very people Alan Chemantin was saying there, they were being harassed, they were being this, that, because of him. What did he do to those people? Did he create any job for those people to get jobs to do? Did he look at them? At that point now, today he's crying foul again. Did he ever say, Nana Akufo-Addo, yes, you have nominated me or appointed me as a trade minister. But the point is, my supporters are being harassed. My supporters are being that. And for that matter, I'm not going to take a position in your government because it is your very people who are attacking my people. But he went there and took the position, neglected his people. Today, it is being meted out to you, and you are coming back to cry foul again. All of a sudden, we should see you as a victim. And we should all cry for you. I don't think it works that way, Mr. Alan Chemantin is a fine, refined gentleman, very fine gentleman. And in terms of intellectualism, the man is learned. the man is far better than Nana Akufo-Addo. Far better. Because this is a man, African leaders and all that agreed for him to, contest as a World Trade Organization secretary or whatever. He has the credentials which Nanado doesn't have. Even Nanado's law qualifications is under contention. But unfortunately, he has allowed himself to be used. And it's so sad because look, Mansa, in as much as me NDC, I prefer the NDC to come to power. But the point is, we also need a stronger opposition. We need people with intellectuality, that intellectual ability to be in opposition, to put the government on its toes. Because the point is not for me to wait for my party to come to power, and then there is a weaker opposition, there is an opposition that has no alternative. Because building a nation, we need both party in power and opposition to come together so that we can all build. Because building a nation, means that all of us need to come together. But unfortunately, it's becoming what it is becoming now. I mean, it's so amazing how an elephant turns into a butterfly or whatever, as a butterfly or whatever. All of a sudden, the elephant is turned into a butterfly. We can only wait Honorable and say, well, for me, as a political watcher and someone who aligns with the NDC, I am not happy. The reason why I'm not happy is saying, probably if I get so happier, it will lead me into thinking that 2024 is a foregone conclusion. No, it is not a foregone conclusion. Anyone who listened to Honorable Alan Chairman this afternoon, anyone who listened to him, he has resigned, but there were things he was saying that tells you that if 2024 were to go into a runoff now, he'll go back to his party. Probably he has become a blessing in disguise at this moment because probably he's going to be the peace broker. Maybe there's going to be a runoff, and maybe he is going to be the one who is going to dictate who takes the seat in 2024. And so I will not be happy and think that it is a foregone conclusion. The NDC needs to work hard. Yes, to your question again, Honorable Alan Chairman in himself, Nankasano, he lacks political communication. That is not something of his credential. Honorable Alan Chairman, suffers to kind of deliver messages outside. That's something he finds very, very hard. And probably he's going to need maybe the football. Yeah, so maybe he's going to need the Kufuor old gas. Yeah, Mansa, am I on? Yeah, so he's going to need the Kufuor old gas to help him. But as far as I know, Honorable and Chairman lacks or doesn't have that message. The point is, yeah, hello. Okay. Okay.
What has happened, transpired.
Yeah, I will take the lesson and come back.
Yo.
Thank you, Ben.
Mr. Kwakubimpe, good evening.
Good evening.
Sorry about say, my friend gidi in terms mami ma di enko from Kakra.
What part of the conversation that they divide and not some to me?
What's it?
Mister, what part of the conversation that they be under me?
Me when there so me nkwa na metimi ayewe. Me nkwa only Mansa Musa can do this. And I really I got to apologize to you and whoever you were having the conversation with. But Gwegu, this development aba mo party Musa see we Musa who say mo party na issue a short statement say they are going to respond I think tomorrow through the public address system. Now minim say no be so but as communication director over UK Hano, what do you make of what has just happened?
What do we got?
Yeah, you.
Well, I'm sure for you know. Good evening to all your listeners and your viewers. As I was resignation, idiot. I think on one hand, you know, a decision here. I know the party made a statement. Party already has accepted the resignation. I'm sure there is something coming up tomorrow, as you said. But and then shall I just shock money for the brave because after first round, you know, Musa, Onawalan perhaps didn't do as much as he was expecting. And check crowd on what coming up to pulling him from the race. I cited a couple of issues and incidents.
NFM Radio.
And then Kopofu said, can you enough reason here also which we pull it out because of course he had gathered quite a number of support in some key areas. And since then, the next option was what does he do next? Then obey next. And people weren't sure. There were rumors about partnering with other people, other leading members of the party. There were rumors about forming his own political party. There were rumors about resignation. So these things have been rumored for a while. In fact, and somebody sent me an article. That will be changing. We say, I resign, ever to the political party. I couldn't believe it. So when the announcement came today, on the feed, there was almost about 12,000 people listening because people were waiting. It kept people waiting to listen to this. And I think for many, it wasn't a shock. Because people knew, say, perhaps that is where he would go. For some, not a shock, because they think it's, Honorable Alan has been a key MPP player, a key part of the Elephant family, and he, at this point in his political career, and some people still can't believe, say, one announces were free, party them, standing on his own. The MPP is a bigger party. It's bigger than any particular person.
That particular statement, our Musa, say MPP is bigger than any one particular person. Some of us standing outside, we find it difficult to believe, because President Kufuor and his family group, almost capture. I mean, that's my words. Maybe it's not true, but it looks as if they have captured the party. So where do we stand when you say, the party itself is bigger than everybody? Maybe now, Kufuor and his family, they are bigger than the party. Yes.
The party is bigger than any one person, like I said, but there are different people who carry different influence in the party. Honorable Alan had influence in the party because he's been a key player.
Sure.
The president, of course, has a massive influence. He's a member of the National Council. So he has a massive influence, and he's effectively the leader of the party. But I don't think that the 6 million people or so that voted for him are all his family members. And so, yes, the party is bigger than any individual. He may have influence more now because he's a leader and he's the president. But I think that doesn't mean he's bigger than the party. No, the party, the New Patriotic Party, is a party of ideas. You can't beat an idea. An idea is bigger than any particular person. So that's it. And we live on. The party will live on years after the party will continue to be there. And that is what we mean when we say the party is bigger than any one particular person.
I see. Ebinimo Kase, Onu Alan Chabantin feels hard done by. I mean, entreating ye Mosi senior chinchim nsa o de ba yitwi mu a ene ade. What do you say to that? I mean, we feel say only reason bia to feel bad. Na se bia election ya de ade course bi bia da hofinchim into onu an che say wakwa ebiti say saw grapes and now say we losing tina watching the boss or the coffee near the idea. What do you make? Do you think he's got a point, or you think he's just being selfish as Obi Bekan?
I believe that when he resigned, he gave a number of reasons. Many of us perhaps may disagree with some of the reasons now provided here. Election, the internal election this year on the 26th, it was perhaps one of the peaceful elections. We had one or two issues, perhaps in two places of the whole country. And I think those two events, they're not big and heavy enough for as a reason to resign. So he may have had his own plan alongside. So that's it. He's been one person, some people have argued that, you'll be a party, I reward He's continuously had some kind of appointments with the party as an ambassador initially throughout the Kufuor administration, and they buy a couple of ministerial portfolios, till now. So he's not Obia, MP. There are many people like him, they have not been able to get opportunities like he has, carry on with his ministerial portfolio and be the ambassador and everything else. If you look at the presidential list, the aspirants, there is nobody on that aspirant list who has had more connection with the government, ministerial portfolios, and some kind of portfolio than Honorable Alan Chapati. But they're there. Some of them did not even resign. They went through to the end.
Yeah.
And see, there are many who will say, wait a minute, he's always planned it. And people are now saying it's a repetition of 2008 when he didn't get the chance to become the flag bearer. He resigned.
Yeah.
And so it's repeated again. And, I was speaking to someone now and I'm saying, look, perhaps Honorable Alan has got his dream to become president and he wants to be president at all costs. And so he believes...
Now, the point in this, Mebo, some records in the history I from, let's say, the year 2000, on maybe one or two occasions, he had listened to the wise counsel and maybe stepped aside for someone else, all in good faith. Now, or not on, me try some friend one fabet. I will try and connect Alan one day and talk to him. The point in this, on his part, on who feel say it is time where I said party no krana is supporting said this is your time. Instead, it's all clear to everyone to see, say, the president has his own choice. Now, the action crowd before session more say other people were able to your friend says select Kennedy Japan ahead of him. In a way, Sabi ni yakakra ana wo hu the American.
Oh my absolutely. So election the were performing as well as you wanted to. It's a season to mourn. You have to mourn, regroup, find out what went wrong, and recharge. We're in a democracy. And in a democracy, there is nothing like everybody who is a good standing member of the party should be allowed to stand at any election whenever possible. That is the beauty of democracy. Yes, we agree that the people
me play devil's advocate. I'm Alan Chemantin. Please do understand me. My point in is there what can be a everyone who is qualified should be allowed to stand here there. Or no na make us on some occasions, or no atiase be a wise counseling beef baby. Atiase stand aside on Quebec se me pene me so her me the president me fa me go forward that 2008 me fa manu de be me so me jina pinti or say he stood aside for someone to take it in sendeno e be do baby aye dua aden still are no dey so still are compete. Side no me.
How did he stand aside? How did he stand aside? Did he not go? Did he not stand then?
Okay.
So why did he stand aside? So stand there. And he stood aside based on a negotiation in return for something, isn't it? So he didn't stand aside. He made a deal. That's not standing aside. And I guess
okay. Well, he made a deal. He made a deal within the party, but say yes. We the outsiders in the MFL cells, he stood aside for a Kufuor.
Oh, but well, he. I tell you that.
Musa, we a communication officer. Look, I know you have your preference, and in public you can't say too much. But you say as much. The obey me, I can catch rain. Let me question this. Say amo MPP in Ghana or Ghana you hear leadership between Alan Chamantin, Kennedy Japan, and Bawumia. Who no fool say why in Ghana for the omu relation more Ghana ni besi.
Mansa,
yeah.
The party has a soul, the party has a heart, the party has a spirit, and the party will choose the spirit and heart and the soul. It feels so on the bit be a leader. My view on this is very small, it's very insignificant. There is a much wider party that will do the selection. And any of those men you have mentioned will be fit to lead the country.
Are you really sure, sir? Are you really sure, sir? Sir, Ghana for a choice, sir. Say pa say Alan yen tunin kofa kane Japan. Are you really saying this?
Well, if people decide to vote for Honorable Alan, fine. If they decide to vote for Honorable Ken, fine. If they decide to vote for Dr. Balmia, fine. But there is a spirit within the party, in Americano.
Yeah.
What you think and how you emotionalize the issue is not going to make any difference. The party will choose its leader at the right time. And already you can see the wind is blowing. You can see where the wind is blowing towards. Alan still had a chance to be in the election. He didn't lose the election. This election, he didn't lose the election. But then he chose to exit. So now a lot of people are saying, is he actually saying that the followers need to now the whatever position he came, he wants to appeal to the wider Ghanaian community.
Well, maybe that's what he's hoping for.
Yeah, but clearly, the first 5 all had the spirit of the party with them, which is why they were selected to vote. So it wasn't a loss. I know it was reported as a loss, but you see, in politics and elections, anything can happen. It was an election.
The practical dynamics going forward. Now, ono Alan Chemantia, Alan Cash, na oye MPP, or Kasakra, so Shena no ye. Me say the first comments or year or so, what message are we going to give Ghanaians? And just say, okay, fine. But our party, he will be constrained or restrained, from saying certain things. Now, Alan Chemantia person show the credibility. He is not only going to attack NDC, but he must attack Ekufuado MPP as well. And that will be a dilemma for you guys, won't it?
Well, time will tell. Time will tell. We have to wait and see for that one. But, if you go to an election, if you have any experience on an election, you find out what your opponent doesn't have, and you use it against them. I mean, this is what's been happening historically. So if Honorable Alan chooses to talk down MPP attack, he was part of the government. So in a way, he'll be, stabbing himself in the back already. So I don't think that will be the way forward, and that would be a preferred way forward for him. But again, I'm not a spokesperson, and I'm not his advisor.
In fact, you yourself, you have spoken very well. But will you accept to say, in fact, this is one trouble that should have been necessary at all? How you wish, you MPP people wish, say, Sanyoma Wina KNC, Anna.
You know what they say about wishes.
If they were beggars, if wishes were horses, beggars will ride, innit? I like the way you put it. I like the way you put it. But Jerome, 1 second. Son of Mr. Kwesiakwa.
Yeah, Musa.
Way MPP for any Mansa Musa, yeah, come on, ye now also. What do you want? What do you want for this afternoon? This is
Mansa Musa, MPP, only a political party for the whole country. So, he's MPP for one which you wanna. We as NDC, we have a right to show concern. That's why I've called him Mansa Musa.
So you think that MPP for one?
No, but you see, the good. You see, submissions here. You see, but Kubimpe is hiding some of the facts of what Alan Chemartin said. You see, Alan Chemartin complained about the way he has been treated by the party leadership. He talked about intimidation. He talked about the shenanigan arrangement that some people have hijacked the party. He talks about the way he has been treated unfairly. That is why the man said he has stepped aside. So Kweku Bimpiano, he's playing a nice game here. Kweku, try and tell us all the facts about Alan Chemartin's problem. You see, in politics, petition is part of the political tools by individual. So if Alan Chemartin and his team have submitted a petition complaining about the way they want to do the special delegate, why didn't they listen to Alan Chemartin's petition? Why? Let's go answer those questions. Those are the things that hit the man to step aside, Kweku. You see, in politics, it's about fair play. So the man, you see, let's forget about he giving Nana Akufo-Addo a chance to go forward. But what the man is complaining now is the unfairness treatment meted out to him. The treatment that they meted out to his people. This is what Kweku Bimpe should talk about. The bullying. He's not talking about that. Ask him that question, Mansa Musa.
Mr. Bimpe, obviously, I mean, look, you are still the communication director. We are even happy to have him because most of his people are hiding, honestly. And I don't think I don't think Kweku Bimpe can answer some of these questions. But of course, they said the uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. So Kweku, Alan Chemante, if he feels hard done by, he feels cheated, he feels he has not been respected. And when you know, say, oh, a party, say a politics. And are you saying that he should have had a thicker skin? And say, come on, read the heading. Now, Oja baby in phone or you know. Sana more patrana.
But you've already answered the question. in Aboriginal, they say, get a grip. You need to get a grip.
You should get a grip, I just say, over just say, the video, or your baby info, we are watching the ball.
Mansa Musa, you see, I'm a Kweku Bimpe, you know. Question I'm the two, and it's still reform a Kweku Bimpe, and more is a question I'm
leave our internal politics for us and focus on this election. Because he has an election coming up. Why is he talking to our MPP election? But see, you have not won your elections yet. Eh?
Kweku Bimpe, Yeka MPP as a national political party. You are talking about the chapter election.
I can't hear anything he's saying, Paul.
Me ba Kweku also want it.
I can't hear him.
Oh.
Okay, Kweku, me say we are talking about a new patriotic party as a national political party, not a chapter. So what we are dealing with is a national political party like New Patriotic Party. This is some few people that hijacked the party. We are coming to compare that one with the chapter election.
Anyway. Seriously, no, me bow. Oh, say, me say, yeah, or no, can Japan. I started a behavior to say, yeah, or yes, spokesperson for NDC. And here, Assembia, your friend is saying, your friend said, tourist minister. He said, how can the whole tourist minister say he wants to promote funerals? Oh, so some way, it should be coming from, let's say, Sami Jenfi. In fact, Sasamuna, a tourist minister can. It is the same thing. I mean, it is said the equation will be what NDC for any two manufacturer who say they will be building a mortuary for Muslims, you know, and also but my question is now that Alan is no more restrained by the party disciplinary your friend is saying or Daniel Diadeno, he is free to speak his mind. It's going to be brutal. So because on the proof, Beba say, oh, at cabinet level, I spoke against this, I refused this, I rejected this, and I was overruled. If you bring those things, your party and your people, no, they will be toast. Any.
Well, nobody and anybody be of say politics, no. Therefore, Omuko meeting now. The person is living in the dreamland. It doesn't work like that. You have to fight your case. You have to fight your corner. You have to fight your idea. That is what politics is all about. It's the beauty of democracy. And freedom of speech guarantees Honorable Alam to say whatever he wants. That is the beauty of our constitution. But if you want to win an election,
Ghanaians as a society, Ghanaians as a people, no, they don't see this talk as beauty. I say Britain, Denmark, Germany, France, US, praising you. Oh, you are doing democracy very well. And you know the Africa whole. The point in this assembly can get the beauty of it. Name of the substance Ghana for Betia says sanity. 18 ka no and ko nyan ko be papa na ne nkrofo no na 20 and nkrofo na anyi year. Then that means he is going to put you guys in trouble. That's what I mean.
So are you telling me sir, since Honorable Alan Bass seen this years ago no, I'm afraid now why fed up until I will free one today. And I saw the now of Philistine is so righteous and you know after now of course maybe I do so free. So baby, when you join a group, you know the behavior of the group initially, the own chain over 20 years, 30 years as you live there and there.
Yeah.
If anything will make it be along those side, no, it will be questionable by Ghanaians. What do I say? Bibiani will be questionable by Ghanaians. And if he wants to win the election as an independent candidate, which is almost impossible because it's never happened in the history. Then he has a big
question. What do you think this is going to happen? The assembly now, who say MPP for they are in a dilemma, and now where you can ensure good.
Now, you know what MPP should do is that you see they should be bold to tell the president that the way he has handled the party is not good for democracy. You see, we need competition, a strong competition. We NDC, we don't have a problem. Whoever comes, you know, MPP as a political party, they fail the nation. That is where we are going now. But you see, what we want a strong MPP. We don't want a divided MPP.
I don't know, sir. Who walk it here? They don't know yet you. Me in foul time baby because man shed and bonk about what's a original Sweden because they don't know Ukasana will be into a radio so I now almost send this a message. Anyway, question to all patches say do you think this will worry the NPP party going forward or this is what
what we are saying is that for we NDC not that we are happy but New Patriotic as a political entity, they should make sure that the party remain democratic enough so that people within the party can air their views in terms of politicking, okay, in terms of the arrangement of election. But Sisiano, what is happening is that the current president is making sure that Alan Chamatin become the presidential candidate, irrespective of what others will say. That is where the problem is.
I don't understand you. The current president is making sure Alan Chamantin.
Musa, listen. You see, the leadership in the NPP when they were going for the special delegate congress, they did a lot of things which affected Alan Chamantin. You know, that is why.
I don't know. Maybe one can you are not listening to what we are saying. We'll say the NPP leadership is making sure Alan Chamantin becomes the flag bearer.
No,
or they are making sure he does not become.
No. You see, Musa, the super delegate congress that they went, something went on.
Yes.
Now they should investigate and find out exactly why.
For that one, they may know you may tell them what you are saying. You know, there's confusion. I don't know. Maybe I understood you wrongly. You are saying that to you know. The leadership of the party, they are making sure that Alan will be the flag bearer. Or you were trying to say that they are making sure.
No. It's the opposite. You see, they were
okay. Question.
No, it's the opposite. They were trying to make sure that.
That's me. One kasa I am the man. Obi da sembe shwano. International.
You see, what went on during the delegate congress, which was he's thinking that. The thing was done in a way to favor certain candidate, and we all know the candidate he was talking about. Do you understand? In terms of the delegate congress, that special delegate conference so he has a bit of complaints. So the party should have dealt with the complaints properly. Okay,
fair enough. They didn't do that. So to you, from your experience, do you think what has happened, or is it going to weaken the NPP, or is going to be even make them stronger? What do you think?
Musa, we NDC as a political party, we are determined to win 2024 election.
Yes.
Whatever takes place within the MPP, we don't care. But however, we wish them well. Okay? We want them to make sure that the election that we are going in 2024, the parties stay together so that they come and face it. As for Alan Martin going out, well, Alan Martin is from Ashanti region. And MPP know the consequences if the man is going as an independent candidate. Well, we there, whatever the case may be, Ashanti region is going to be our base for 2024. Yekwako 10th camp was Ashanti region because MPP always wins presidential election with Ashanti region.
Okay.
But may NPP there, NPP as a political party, like NDC, they should sort themselves out. Okay, so that when the election come on, we beat them and beat them properly. Whether with Alan Chamati or...
Honestly speaking, this in Komono, I wanted it to remain with the MPP because NDC, you have your own problems here in the UK anyway. But you have every right to bring in that one. Before I may call your friend Mr. Kwekubimpe Hono, I mean call the second line na Kwekubimpe Obotum Wayena Wabonam Pesinewi whilst he's doing his cooking. Let's see. Kwekujinama Menko Bia. Right. So let's see if I can get this man to also come and have a word. Anyway, okay, yeah. Right. Our friend Joe.
Mansa.
Yeah, Joe, yeah, too.
Yeah, I think let me acknowledge Chairman Akwa and NPP communicator.
Mr. The Director of Communications, Mr. Kweku Bimpe.
I agree with Mr. Kweku Bimpe or whatever the name. Forgive me if I get the name wrong. And then
the NPP Director of Communication, Mr. Kweku Bimpe.
Yeah, thank you for the correction. I disagree partly with my chairman Akwa, and some way somehow too I agree with Chairman Akwa and disagree. So it's that way. Now, in terms of what Chairman Akwa was saying, look, the question that is going to be posed to Alan Chairmantin is he a man of conviction? Is he a man of integrity? Because if you are alluding to the fact that your people are being harassed and all that, yet you did not stand your ground to kind of step aside. You went on to do the election. Now the question is, if Alan Chairmantin had come out as the winner of the first election, would he have resigned?
No.
Exactly. So
that question I don't understand. If he had won, he wouldn't feel the need or the edge. He wouldn't feel cheated. He wouldn't feel sidelined. He wouldn't come and say, things are bad. So that one is obvious. He would have stayed. But because of what has happened, he felt cheated. And he has every right to say, look, I feel cheated. Either I stay or I go. And he decided to go.
Yeah, but the point is, Musa, this thing did not happen today. It happened long ago.
Which thing?
This harassment and all this kind of thing. It happened. It started in 2007. He did allude to that fact today.
Yes. But look, let's confess this. That makes him maybe a good party boy, a good party man. Even though there were problems those days, he wanted to stay to make sure that things work. And now he found out that as they say in Britain, over his tenure, so then it is now completely gone above his.
The question then is, if he comes to you to canvass for votes, and then you were asking the question, wouldn't he blow out all the secrets? If he blows out the secret, you would then ask him, why then did you not tell all the secrets since 2017 until 2023 or 2024 because then you are not a man of conviction, you are not a man of integrity. That is the whole point. Are you getting it?
Well, so what do you think this is going to make the NPP stronger or weaker?
I disagree with anyone who believes the NPP is not going to be divided. I totally disagree with anyone.
I don't know. Your voice is going up and down. We didn't hear.
What I'm saying is I disagree with anyone who believes the NPP is not divided.
So you think they are divided and it's going to make them weaker?
It is going to impact the NPP positively. Or negatively, sorry. It is going to impact the NPP negatively.
But others will argue that some time ago, I think in the 2000s, you had Kuzitano and the rest of it. What name again? Even Adjumakredo. I mean, people got they got torn away from the NDC to form their own group, and it didn't make the NDC weak. So, what makes you think that alliance going away will make NPP weak?
So who you Gusitano leaving the party did not weaken the NDC? It did. It did have a strong negative impact on the NDC. And we saw the result in the 2000 elections.
Okay. All right.
Point is that if anyone there says that the party is stronger than any person, yes, it is true fundamentally. But to certain aspects, it is true. Because look, at this point, the NPP needs Alan Chemantin more than they need the NPP political party. They Chemantin more. Because look, NPP, if you follow the trends of Ghana's politics, NPP have always won when results had come in from the Ashanti region. Now, this is an Ashanti man. Assuming he even takes 10% of your vote, you've lost the election. If he takes 10% of Ashanti region vote, NPP has lost the election drastically. And if people are saying Alan has benefited, look, Mansa Musa today in our political space, the person who has benefited drastically is Dr. Baumia. This is a person who has benefited from the NDC and now benefiting from the NPP. It's education and all that were born by the NPP and the NDC through his father and all that. And today,
all right. If you say so,
governor of the Bank of Ghana.
Once I've got Kwesi here, let me ask him
let me finish this. Mansa Musa. The NPP should not be tickling themselves and think they can laugh by themselves and come and tell us something different. Look, they have all been whipped to support Dr. Baumia, and then they come and tell us that nobody is bigger than the party. Why is Akufo-Addo whipping everybody to support Dr. Baumia? And he, the communication officer or the director, speaking, support Baumia but he knows Baumia in 2007 did not even have a party card. How many members in the NPP can rise up to become vice president if they don't have a party card, which kind of dates back to 5 or 6 years? But Baumia came. And so there is that aspect of favoritism. It is going on. So nobody should come and tell us that somebody is the party is bigger than Baumia today is bigger than the NPP as a political party. Because everybody has been whipped to support him. If he's not bigger, why is everybody following him?
Right. Abolo.
Think we are
a quick one. I want to have some conversation with Mr. Kwesi Akwa. With regards to some WhatsApp over here in the UK. So since you have come in about this particular conversation, I will give you the chance to make your point. So go ahead.
I will just come in like 2 minutes and see if I can later come back again. So let me do these 2 minutes. Mansa Musa, you see what is happening or what happened today, or Alex Chemantin resigning from the NPP to form a movement. Alex Chemantin and you and me, most Ghanaians know Alex Chemantin cannot win the general election with any movement. All what Alex Chemantin wants to do is to rescue Ghana, to support John Dramani Mahama. It's a rescue mission. Alex Chemantin knows that when going into general election, he got to 1%, allow 2%. That percent is NPP percent, and that will make NPP cannot break the oath, and that will give advantage to John Dramani Mahama and the NDC. So it's just a simple rescue mission. Nothing more, nothing less. This is how, when the right time comes, everybody have to support the cause. Alex Chomati cannot come and tell you Mansa Musa and me and Ghanaian that is now an NDC person. But deliberately, he is doing this in support of NDC. That is what I want to say.
I see. Anyway, you've made a point. You've made that point. I think it's an interesting point to consider, which we can later, in the course of the program or tomorrow next, whatever, we can discuss. But it's a very good point. It's possible.
But once I'm in the corner, I'm still following you. So if anything.
All right. Okay. Yo, Medasi Bibri. Medasi. Akpe. Oh, you are done.
That's okay.
Now go there. Right. So, make I go to this number. And Mr. Kwakubimpe, thank you very much. I know you had to go. You were having nice conversation. Hey, lover boy. The thing way they happen for your party, you still manage to have. You are still managing to have lobby. Kwesi?
Yeah, Mansa.
Right. And so, we'll put the story of Alan Chamatin behind the back burner for now.
Okay.
And let's move forward and go to the UK itself.
Okay. And there was next time when you get play Alan Chamatin's tape for us to listen. Then Kukubipe will listen to what the man was complaining about. I beg.
Which tape?
Oh, Alan Chamatin's speech.
That long speech. Jesus Christ.
No, play some. You can play some. Don't play all. Then the people will understand why Alan Chamatin is coming from. Alan Chamatin is a founding member of NPP, so the man is peeved, to be honest.
Anyway, yeah.
Anyway, let's come back home.
So, what's happening?
Yeah, Musa. Before I say what's happening, just a quick one. To all our NDC comrades, I'd like to say hello to them, and at least to your listeners as well. I would like to say hello to all of them. For now, lo and behold, very soon this election will come on, and we all finish this stress mode that the candidate and the members have gone through. So far, so good, Mansa Musa. We are on course for the 7th of October. If all goes well, this election will come. Then we will get our leader in this chapter. Then the reform will take place, because Mansa Musa, it is long overdue that this chapter, we reform this chapter. So lo and behold, we are getting ready to reform the chapter, and all the old executives who have not performed, we ask them to step aside so that we put in place a fresh team to come and refresh the party here. Okay. So that is what we are doing. We are on course to do that, Mansa Musa. And by His grace, at least this election will take place, and the kingmakers in our chapter here, they will decide. Some of the individuals who think they have self-entitlement within this chapter, the voters will tell them that they are the people who elect leaders, not that individuals who think otherwise. So, Musa, that is the position where we are going now. We are praying to God that this election come on peacefully. On the 7th of October, we elect our new and the fresh leaders to come and manage this chapter for all of us, Master Musa. That is the position, Musa.
So
that is the position.
So they, as for the confusion about who pays what and who has sent what to where and about how much and the rest, as it is, that means you people are going to forget about it for the meantime.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because the fact is, you still can't get anybody to come up with any tangible news. I'm talking about being accountable, your accounts being made, accountable to all the members or the executives. Maybe a reaches or beyond person. So you might as well say that you wait till after the election.
No, Musa, for now, there will be more independent debate. But now that I got the opportunity to speak, I'll say one or two things. The other day we listened to other candidates and the Musa Chow having a huge banter on your radio station. And Musa, some of us were not happy with the situation. Because these two people, they were not even the members of the fundraising committee. But however, they were denigrating the party on air, which was so... Some of us were not happy, Musa. Because the report that we, the committee, produced for the party, the members who were part of the team, we know what we did. And we know what it is. But the difficulty is, we were expecting the leadership here to say that, look, when we receive and when we send to Accra, the receipt that came from Accra, this is what is inside. Then you brief the members. You see, Musa, you have two members who are executive officers, but they are on air debating one another. That is why me, Kwesi, I was having a bit of difficulty, Master Musa. Because some of these discussions should go to executive meeting. That is where such meetings take place. Musa, if I'm the chairman of this...
One thing I will agree with you is what you have just said, because if there are two executives and they are not, arguing bitterly, quietly during their meetings, and they are arguing on air, for me as a radio presenter, radio man, I'm happy people are arguing. But for you as a party or as individuals, you think it was wrong, isn't it?
Musa, every political party has a constitution and has a structure of dealing with matters administratively. If transparency and probity is not there for the executives to understand what is happening, this is where we find ourselves, Musa. That is why I've said to you time and time again that, Musa, Kwesakwa, what I'm bringing on board, I call it reform. A lot of these candidates who are competing with Kwesakwa, Musa, I can assure you that I'm far experienced than all of them. I have a lot of time at my disposal to manage this chapter. Majority of them are now learning the politics within the NDC, which we need to sit back and say, look, where have you brought this party? Where have you brought this chapter? Musa, if you look at our party constitution, it talks about probity and accountability. Where this party came from, it dwells on probity and accountability.
Wow.
Our founder, Jerry Rawlings, who brought this party, never ever went back on the issue of probity and accountability. Why can't we account to our members? Musa, if you are a leader,
in fact,
what a leader,
what you have just mentioned is something is unique or different from what I've been hearing for all these times. I mean, talking about probity and accountability, talking about ideals of your party. It sounds to me which is a bit shameful.
Musa,
but let me ask you before I forget. You said something like, mentioning you have the time. It's also quite interesting. Everybody will argue. I mean, anyone who knows anything about politics there, the moment you become a chairman or you take a leadership role, it consumes part of everything you do. But you are saying, I want you to tell us that you feel you have the time on your side more than the rest of everybody?
Musa, I have researched with my contenders. And when I found out the experience that I've got in terms of time at my disposal, Musa, my kids are grown-ups. So I have enough time to do party politics. I have enough time to make sure I devote my time for the party I love so much. Wow. Since I started back home in 1996 with Sylvester Mansa Musa. You see, the last time I came to London, I made mention to my London guys that, look, not because I'm not staying in London, That is where some people think, oh, Kosiakwa is not in London. No! This is the time we need to appoint a leader outside London. A leader who will come into the system with the fresh ideas. A leader that comes and look at the issue of Council of Elders. Musa, if I become the chairman of this chapter, there are two key things I will look at. The issue of Council of Elders within this chapter, it is a must. We have to look at it and make sure we have Council of Elders in place that will help us to resolve some of our conflicts we always rise to Accra. This needless petition that goes to Accra, yes, individuals can write their petition to Accra. But however, Mansa, when you have Council of Elders in place to advise the leadership, we can approach those petitioner writers and look, let's do our homegrown solution here before we rise to Accra because of the constitutional matter. But we don't have it. Even France, that I helped to form as a political party, they even have Council of Elders helping them resolving their problem, Mansa Musa. As we speak, France had a problem with the chairman and the secretary. They have managed to resolve it among themselves. Why can't we, UK and Ireland, a chapter that started years ago, can sit back and say, look, something is not working. The leadership in this chapter has failed us. Musa, you know what even pains me? You haven't performed. However, you still want people to give you power to retain you. To retain you to do what? You've served for 5, 6 years. And you have failed the whole chapter. You still want people to retain you as a chairman. To do what, Mansa Musa? There's nothing again you can do. So we say that we need fresh face in this chapter. A face that will sit back with executives. We look at our executive, stretchers. We look at the branch executives. We say, look, this party belongs to us and the sympathizers. So we need to work together and rescue this party. We need to reform this party. Musa, as part of my mission statement, I've talked about welfare. Musa, NDC is left-centered. So when we are doing the politics itself, make sure our members who are within the executive body, we take good care of them. Then the sympathizers who want to join the party, when they come in, they say, yes, this party is attractive. So that when we win for anybody who comes to the executive, they come and serve us, Musa. Musa, listen. The founder who brought this party to us, J.J. Rollins, he talks about probity and accountability first class. So why can't we in the chapters here, even if you have changed the dynamics of politics, can't we account for our stewardship within our executive body? When we go to executive meetings, that is where we need to report our operations there. Musa, I'm running Ghana Union in Sheffield, Yorkshire. Every quarter, I give financial statements so they know what goes in, what comes out. Why can't we do this in our party? Why? As we speak, by now we are doing registration. We should have by now organized ourselves, start to raise small money here and there to gather money to go and help the party to rescue issues like the registration going on, like pending election. We sit in UK and Ireland, all what we know is positions and fighting among ourselves. Musa, let me assure you, this election, me, Chairman Kosako, I'm pleading with chapter voters. It is time we vote this time for somebody outside London. Because majority of our London leadership has failed us. And me, Kosako, I'm bringing in reforms. I'm bringing in new style. I'll be a good listener, a good leader. So that, look, together, we can put chapter NDC back to where it belongs. This is what puts me into this election. Musa, let me give you one secret. This is very important. And the lady go. You see, this chapter, Kosako had wanted a female to step forward to be the chairperson. Like me, Kosako, I won't step into the ring. But lo and behold, that female is not ready. And I know, inshallah, with time, that female will be ready. Then this chapter will get our first female chairperson. Mark it on the wall.
As you are talking, I'm just putting some notes down. Wherever I get, I'm sure Dr. Joe Usajman will be here tomorrow. Then I'll try and contact Conrad and Bamba. Seriously speaking, you've made some very serious points here. For me, the most important one is the time factor. You've come out to say your kids are grown. That means you don't have to go maybe talking them into bed or maybe going to marching them to go and see their school headmaster for some troubles here and there. So, I mean, this is a huge point. I mean, I will ask the question that why
with you,
coming down with this is it not a bit too late? Because the other functions we are talking about, almost everybody can say the same. Reforms, I'll do this, I'll buy a house, I'll buy a car for this one, I'll give you t-shirt. Everybody can say the same. But your points about the time, and also I'm beginning to admire the things that, sometimes when I can just keep quiet, yeah. But I'm admiring the fact that you as an NDC person, you are reminding your people and everyone about the ideals of your, how you guys were even brought up, how you came about. And it's true. Even in Ghana nowadays, you don't hear people talking about probity accountability. I'm surprised, but what can I say? You are hitting all the right nails anyway. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mansa Musa. You see, Mansa Musa, now where we've gotten to now, some of us are speaking with emotions. Some of us are speaking with the passion. Because that's not where we need to be, Mansa Musa, by now. Musa, MPP as a political party, the amount of money they stash away for 2024 election, we don't have a clue. So we need to get ready. The issue of polling agents, how are we going to manage them, Musa? The issue of, we are looking at 270-something constituency. And even if every constituency, we need 4 prompters, multiply it by 270-something constituency.
275, innit?
Yeah, 75, that's it. So let's assume that each constituency, we need 4 prompters. Because, Musa, apart from the polling agents, which the party take care of, there are some people, we call them election prompters. They go from home to home to prompt people to go and vote. Those people, they are very important. We always lose sight of those people, and we need resources. John Dramani Mama can't do this alone. So when we generate the money, when we do fundraising, we have to tell JDM that JDM, we have made fundraising of this amount. We know you don't need such money. Can we use at least 2/3 of that money to sponsor election prompters? And no, JDM will say, look, Kwesi, this is a good plan. You guys should go ahead. But we don't have all those things. Then all what we are interested in, we sit in London and all with misunderstanding and people are stressed out, Musa. Musa, I want to plead with my chapter voters. The Obiyonko style, it is enough. I know this, it is enough. Let's elect experienced chairman who will bring everybody together. Somebody who has been in the trenches.
Listen, Kwesi, let me say this. You had a forum yesterday, your party, you had question and answer, and this was in public domain. I happened to watch. I happened to check. I happened to listen and watch it on Facebook. So I can comment. You see, what you have just said, Obinyonko and the rest, can you imagine that your treasurer, I tend to forget his name, is it Roger or something? He was on the show, actually, talking about how good he is and everything, so he should be voted for and everything. And not a single one of you guys, called him out for accountability. I'm not saying that he has stolen anything, but if you guys quietly and secretly are campaigning, have been complaining that there is no accountability, there is no audit and everything, and this guy comes to a forum and nobody asked the question that if you share any more Binyonko no, Kwesi, your leadership, if you win, you got to stop it.
Musa, he explained himself based on what he has said the party. But let me say something here, Musa. In a political party, when it comes to the area of accountability and finance, It's a very key important area. I've done a master's in business administration in industrial management. I'm an aviation trained guy. But if we talk of accounting, Musa, in a political party, we have what we call dues.
Yeah.
We have what we call donations. We have what we call fundraising and some individual cash donations. So we need to make sure that we have something called book running, bookkeeping of any person that comes in or any penny that goes out. So that every quarter of the year, 3 months, we run a simple income and expenditure account to members. So that members will understand how we are operating our finances. We are not saying let's do a public. No, the party doesn't allow you to do a public, but within the party itself.
Yes.
Within the executives and the members itself, we need to report back to them what we have done with the finances, even if it is £10, Mansa Musa. You see, cash in political party is not like your personal cash. You can do anything without accounting for it. Any money you use, it must be documented and receipted.
Sure.
It is very important. So that when you are running the report, it will follow.
You see, I have to clarify. I mentioned your treasurer and written. I'm not, for one,
Please, Roger is a fine gentleman.
I'm
so
not suggesting that he has done anything wrong. But what I was saying if you meet in a public forum like that, someone, the people who are complaining of non-accountability and the rest, those people should be able to ask bold questions. Hey, my friend, you want this? Where is this money? When are you going to account it? But people will shy away and do obinyonko per se, and if you carry on like this, that means your own principles, your own ideals that brought you guys about, you are frowning on it. You are destroying it. But who am I?
No, you have a right. You see, Musa, when you are running a political, it's difficult because look, you have a different skill set of people who have come together to serve the party. Because this is a voluntary business we are doing. But however, we need to run the political party like we are running our own business.
Sure.
Because if you take the chairman and the vice and you put them in the center of the map, you have other departments around these two guys. That's the chairman and the vice. Musa, you have the organizational team, you have the secretariat, you have the communication department, you have what you call the youth, you have the Zongo caucus. You put all those departments around these two key guys, and you make sure that each department work accordingly based on the party constitution.
Okay.
We have about 4 or 6 executives. They are called non-portfolio executives. Me, Kwesi, when I'm in that chair, those people are elected, I will share them among the departments. And I will attach them that, look, help the various departments and make sure we work together as a team.
Right. Mr. Kwesi has hit all the points. All the points.
No, Musa, before I land, Musa,
I would like to land. It's not even before. You have to land.
Okay, let me land. Now I've got all my clients for air traffic control. I'm cruising at 0457, on the sliding, my gliding down to touch down zone. Listen, Musa, I want to plead with all the chapter voters. Chairman Kosakwa is pleading with you. Chairman Kosakwa is begging for your vote. It is not like Obiyongo. Me not saying in London constantly shouldn't deter me for coming to this race. I have come to this race to challenge the status quo. It is time we change the face of politics of NDC in UK and Ireland. And when I get the nod, Musa, I'll make sure I take this party business from London right down to Scotland and make sure we decentralize the party within the UK and Ireland. So that is my intention in stepping the race, Mansa Musa.
Let me ask you before you go quickly, talking about Scotland. What do you say to people who are suggesting that, in fact, the numbers up north is good enough, to break the chapter into 2, south, north and south? What do you think?
Musa, I have heard this suggestion come across, and it is a very laudable suggestion, and it is something we need to look at it. And I think the party has got regulations, rules, how a chapter can be formed. they have a number of branches which you need an approval.
Sure.
Okay, so when you get a number, then you can go to Accra and say, look, Accra, based on the difficulties that we are having, can we have the north and the south with proper information, with proper understanding? Musa,
exactly.
I've been a chapter, before I land, I've been a chapter electoral committee before. I was constantly coming to London for meetings. I worked with Edwin, who was part of the chapter electoral committee. Constantly, I was driving to London for meetings. Sometimes I get home in the next morning on the motorway M1. In 2 occasions, Musa, it's only God who saved me. I slept behind my steering wheel. But what I'm saying is that for the love of the party, for the love of NDC, I will ask all NDC comrades, we should all come off our high horses and make sure we work for NDC. The sympathizers are ready to support us. Individuals are ready to support us. We should put all our fight behind us. Unity is what it is. 2024, it is there for the taking.
Okay.
And we need to come together and make sure we win power for NDC and for Ghanaians. That is what I want to say. On that note, I would like to say a big thank you for giving me this opportunity, Master Musa. May the good Lord continue to bless your station and bless your listeners. Thank you so much, Master Musa.
Thank you. That is Mr. Kwesiakwa, who is vying for the chairman of NDC UK Ireland chapter. Master Musa is here. I'll be here for a while. Let me see what Mr. Adam would like to say. Hello, Adam.
Hello, good evening, Mansa Musa.
Good evening.
How are you? Hello?
Is Adam speaking?
Yeah, how are you? Can you hear me?
Hey.
Can you hear me?
All of a sudden there was noise here.
Hello?
Now we can't hear anything.
Hello?
Hello, Adam.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you just a touch. Your voice is very down. I don't know why. Maybe. Okay, maybe it was my fault. You are right. Okay,
can you hear me now?
Yeah, now we can get it. Yeah, we can get it right.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, what brought you here?
Yeah, what brought me there is regarding Alan Martin's resignation from the MPP.
Oh dear.
And Alan Martin's resignation from the MPP and its consequences on the election 2024. Alan Martin has been an astute member of the New Patriotic Party. He has contested to become the flag bearer for the party. This is the second time. And the first time when he lost, he resigned. He was spoken to and he came back to the party. The party lost the election. And then Akufo-Addo was the flag bearer. They went on again and they won the election. Now, he contested again. And in the course of the process, he made his points clear that the unfair playing ground within the party's primaries, that has warranted him to resign. And he has resigned. Inasmuch as Alan Martin doesn't have enough credibility, both national and within the party, his resignation will have some consequences on the fortunes of the MPP come 2024. Because he's got his supporters and he's got people who will follow him. The tribal line will be played again within the MPP, the North and the Akans. They will play that card. So there are majority of the members of the MPP who are going to sabotage Dr. Bawumia if he becomes the flag bearer of the party. And we shouldn't forget that there is a history. We had a history when Guzi Tano walked away from the National Democratic Congress. But for national reform, Kufuor wouldn't have been a president. Atamos would have won on the first round of the election. So if Alan Chamatin decides to form an independent political party, he's going to take a percentage of the voters of the NPP to follow him. And again, this is not a good time for the NPP because from all indication, they haven't performed. They've reversed the country and they will lose bitterly. So Alan Chamatin is going to contribute to the loss that they will incur. So if anything to go by, the party elders should speak with Alan Chamatin not to form any political party. They should go in agreement with him to make him one of the kingpins of the election 2020 campaign. If he accepts it, then that will be it for them, or they should run a deal with him. So he shouldn't form a political party.
Well, whatever you coin this one is going to be a problem. Because now, if he comes out after a week to say, I thought I was going to be independent and run my own show, but now, after consulting with elders, blah, 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 we decide it will make him look even more undesirable than he already is. You understand? So, whatever it is. But what about the consideration someone came to, Abolo said from Accra, that he perhaps is now thinking it's a rescue mission. His actions rather to indirectly help JDM. What do you make of that?
Help who? John Dramani.
JDM, yeah.
No. Nobody can help John Dramani at this critical point in time.
Oh, okay.
Even if Akufo-Addo decide to campaign for John Dramani Mahama, it's not going to help them. The fortunes of the NPP is dwindling because of their non-performance and how they've run the country down. So even if NDC do not campaign, they will win this election. And one thing we have to bear in mind is the Electoral Commission, whatever they are doing, the NDC as a party can stop what the Electoral Commission is doing. The fraudulent registration exercises that they are embarking upon could be stopped by the NDC, but I don't see why the NDC is not speaking. And the NDC
how would they stop it?
Yes, because everything that the Electoral Commission is doing, it should have bipartisan or a consensus by all the political parties in the country. We have IPAC meetings.
Yes.
The Electoral Commission single-handedly cannot tell the nation that this is what I want to do.
Yeah, but they know they cannot. They know they shouldn't, but they are doing it anyway, with or without the NDC. They know. Look, even court,
that's what I'm saying.
Court is talking NDC, to the woman on the outfit. They are not listening. So what should the NDC do?
No, they should stop it. This is the time that they should do
how will they stop it? How will they stop it?
They should do it with force. They should go to the national executive. They should go to the
No, Adam, I want to understand this. How will the NDC stop this exercise?
Look, NDC should stop this exercise by making a lot of noise.
Well,
not only making noise, they should take a drastic action.
For me, I don't listen. I think they are making noise, and at the same time, they are making sure that people who have to register, they are helping them. Because if they don't do that, and they pretend or they create the impression that people shouldn't take part, it will go against them.
You see,
that is what the
all
NPP
what the
wants.
Electoral Commission is doing is fraudulent. It's illegal. It should not be accepted in any civilized nation.
The courts, the big courts, the bar council, the council of elders, they all know this is illegal and it's going on anyway. So how can the NDC stop it?
Mansa Musa,
yes,
when people protest,
yes,
when people get on the street and protest, picket at the head office of the National Electoral Commission,
yes,
block the doors of the chairman of the National Electoral Commission,
yes,
on the premise that every action the Electoral Commission is currently undertaking is illegal. There will be some form of heeding to what the masses demand.
Maybe you are right, because the point is, okay, we are lucky to say the floodgate has opened. At least they've done one demonstration. So now the police are going to be very wary. They are not going to be able to stop people from demonstrating. So maybe going forward, but NDC as a political party, if they came on and say, "Oh, this is illegal," so we are not going to.
No, they shouldn't say they are not going to take part. They should They should protest. There should be protestation. I saw some footages where children are allowed
until yesterday. Yeah, well, all those things are rumors and everything. You see, until yesterday. Protesting in Ghana had become a premium. It has become a very dangerous undertaking until yesterday.
People should march to the police headquarters. People should march to the police headquarters.
Yes.
You see, this is the time that we should be fearless.
Yes.
Because the police was a civilian before he became a law enforcement agent. And if he doesn't abide by the law, he is not a proper law enforcement
you are very right, but what I'm saying is until yesterday,
you see,
protesting in Ghana was a dangerous business until yesterday. So now that at least Vomawo and the rest of them have been able to sacrifice their skins by even standing in the rain and getting the risk of getting arrested and everything, at least the floodgates are now open. So hopefully we'll see some more demonstrations.
Arrest everybody in the country. They can't arrest everybody. They can't arrest all in the country.
Yes.
You see, we need to be tough. This is our country.
Yes.
We shouldn't allow the country to be taken by thugs.
Yes, it's true.
You see, we need to fight for the country. When it gets worse, we will all be suffering. You will be paying more money. Your family will be asking you for more money.
Yes.
My family will be asking me for more money. Now look at what is happening in Ghana. Ghana is becoming like a banana republic. There is no law. Education is haywire. All institutions have been run down. Police are becoming corrupt.
Kufuor went to the UN, and if you listen to his speech, it's like he's doing very well indeed.
Everything he said was a story of himself. Akufo-Addo narrated what he was capable of doing and what he has been able to achieve. You see, they have paroled all the state money into foreign account. Therefore, he is saying that so everybody will know that no, they haven't done anything. But he was narrating a story about his government and what they've been able to do. They've run the country down. But this is a warning to John Dramani Mahama when he becomes a president and he doesn't take action. He doesn't redeem what belongs to Ghana for Ghana. Then he is going to pay for the price of Akufo-Addo's sin. You see?
Yo, my brother. Listen, you've made the points, all of them, and I'm very grateful indeed. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
NFM Radio.
Sydney Discotheque, verano del 79, con la mejor música del mundo.
Ojaye. koliwa anoma koliwa anoma koliwa 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 anoma koliwa anoma koliwa 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 anoma koliwa anoma koliwa 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 anoma koliwa
Oja, hey, Oja, yeah, Oja. Amafwe, Oja, yeah, Oja, Oja, hey, Oja. All right, thank you all very muchachos. Thank you very much for listening. Hopefully, we'll do it all over again tomorrow. Alan Chermantin has resigned from the MPP. MPP people, some of them are writing it. It's nothing. He's gone so well. And the NDC had the same problems in the early 2000s. So it means anything can happen, and that is nothing really. But others will tell you that the MPP is in disarray because this stalwart Alan Chermantin cannot just leave and you think everything will be normal. For me, I know Alan Chermantin's feeling to come behind Kennedy Japan. I think that pisses him off a lot because, honestly speaking, the idea, the contemplation that Kennedy Japan can become president, just the thinking about it alone makes some of us feel sick because this guy is just not fit. This guy hasn't got it, and if he uses certain, profanity and some borrowed characteristics of Mr. No Nonsense, that's how he wants to portray himself. Jesus Christ, President Kennedy Japan, who? Me dream ukra no akwara no kan no me yem kura hihye right ye fancy ha ya me adum a ochina ye be abeto aso da mu nyina ase bye bye.
NFM Radio.
Moko school, mama. Mange to feel chida. Emi, emi ba priso. Emi around. Emi ba priso. Oh, emi oh. Emi ba priso. Emo to feel sa. And now that's mine. Mange.